I'm George Boston Rhines, and last night, October the 27th, I was in Quitman, Georgia, the county of Brooks in the state of Georgia. There was a Freedom Fund banquet held. State President Edward DuBose, District Coordinator Larry Lockey, members of the Quitman 10, Nancy Denner, Trotman, Diane Thomas, and others, all came together for a Freedom Fund banquet. And of course, Sister Head, one of the Quitman 10 that died, was honored. Pastor Avery and Nancy Denard was also honored for the work they have done in the community. But in the midst of it all, few people said anything about what the Quitman 10 has gone through and why they had to go through this. But it is my belief the God of our ancestors is crying out to us, saying, stand up for right, stand up for justice, be all that you can be in God's world. As you know, the Quitman 10 were arrested December 2010, and of course later they went back and they arrested 2 more members of the Quitman 10. Much news have been lost, unreported. We only ask why in the Black African American community and the white right community. Why is it that the Quitman Free Press and other South Georgia newspapers, radio stations, and television stations seems to keep, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story away from common everyday citizens? Well, as you watch the upcoming videos, I just want to say to you, be sure to Google the Quitman 10. Visit my YouTube channel, Boston G.B.R. That's Boston G.B.R. Also, visit my blog, kvci.blogspot.com. That's kvci.blogspot.com. Once again, I am in Valdosta, Georgia, and I just wanted to do a prelude into the next pictures, videos, and comments that you listen to will be because I care. It is because I know that Brooks County and Lowndes County are forever trenched and indented in time as being unfair. And I do mean unfair to Black African Americans. Don't take my word for it. Google the Week of Terror, the lynching of Hayes Turner, Mary Turner, Mr. Will Thompson, and others who died during this Week of Terror in May 18th through 24th. It was a sad day in South Georgia history, but we are not here today to talk about that. However, we could talk about the Wootons that perished in a pond. We could talk about Earl Evans burned up in a police car in Quitman. We could talk about many other people that died in Brooks County, and nothing has ever been done. Nobody was brought up on charges. Nobody was brought up before the Georgia Bar. Nobody was removed from public office as the Quitman 10 were removed. by Republican Governor Nathan Deal. But as we, the people, seek and look for justice in the walls and behind the walls of those in political power, not only in Brooks County, but also in Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia. When we look around at the courthouse, the federal buildings, and city government, we look for equal employment. We look for jobs. We want to see blacks in positions like other people. Our sons and daughters don't need any more or less than other citizens. We are filling the jails and prisons in too many cases because the children's parents cannot find a job, and they are treated on these jobs like I was treated at Walmart Stores Incorporated. And so I'm simply saying to you, sit back and enjoy the truth of what is said at the first Brooks County Freedom Fund Banquet under the banner of the NAACP, with all of its presidents, all of its members that were present, past presidents, which were masters and potentates of the Masonic Lodge. And to everyday citizens, I say to you, sit back and let's go on a journey as we search out the annals of truth, a truth that some do not want reported. For the record, all news medias were notified. The Valdosta Daily Times, the Quitman Free Press, all surrounding newspapers and some in Atlanta was notified about last night's banquet. I want you to check your newspapers. I want you to check your radio stations. I want you to check your television stations. And I want you to see, do they consider your news as their news? Or do they believe in the old 1860 Valdosta City Charter that was removed from Judge Edwards' municipal courtroom in 2004, reluctantly removed by a vote that was down party lines? It was a disgraceful charter, and it said that the mayor and council shall pass all proper and necessary laws and ordinances for the control and suppression of slaves and free persons of color, and to abate all nuisances arriving from hogs, dogs, or other livestock straying at large in Valdosta, Georgia. So they want to keep us ignorant. And so this is why I started blogging and later YouTubing, when the letters I sent in to the editor of the Valdosta Daily Times would not be published. Mainly after President Barack Obama became president, and I began to challenge the conservatives on the issues. And so nothing I sent up there were published. And so I started YouTubing, and I thank God for using the Valdosta Daily Times. And you should call the editor and thank the editor, because as a result of not publishing my letters, I have a larger audience, and it's growing every week. Now, let's get to the videos.